Hello guys, welcome to the workshop. Hope you're having a really great bank holiday Monday. There is a bit of sunshine outside, which is a bit unusual for the UK. Little bonus video for you today. I've been challenged by Mevi, real good friend. He's a van lifer, built his own van, Fiat Ducato, about a year ago and is now living in it full time. I think his channel's absolutely fantastic. He's got an absolutely great sense of humour and I think it's just riveting viewing. So please do check his channel out. He's challenged me to do the 3x3 challenge. And I'm not one to back down from a challenge. Basically what it is, I've got to tell you 3 things that nobody knows about me. And then I've got to then nominate 3 other people to do exactly the same. Now I could just sit here in the workshop and tell you 3 simple facts about me that not a lot of people know. But that's the easy way out. And I'm up for a challenge. So let's get out of the workshop, let's hit the road and I'll take you to the places where these 3 things happened. For the first thing that you didn't know about me, I've come here to this farm in Essex. Most people wouldn't know, but I spent all of my childhood growing up on a farm and we actually lived here for all of my school years up till I was about the age of 15. It was such a fantastic time, you know, growing up on a farm on private land. The adventures that we had were amazing. During the harvest time I got to drive these tractors around. I was only probably the age of about 12 or 13. And I think in those days, on a provisional licence, you could actually legally drive agricultural vehicles on the road. And I can remember driving JCBs on the road before I'd even passed my driving test. But that's not the interesting fact that I want to tell you about, because it's one of the adventures that we got up to here that I've kept a secret for years. Now we used to go out and play on the fields and on the farm, muck about in the haystacks, and you know, we'd get called back for our dinner at tea time. We'd be out all day having different adventures and one thing and another. But it was when we was living on a farm in Thaden Boys near Epping, which is right on the end of the central line going into London. And what we used to do, unbeknown to our parents, we was only kids at the time, is we used to say, right, we're going to go out on an adventure for the day, and then we'd walk into Thaden Boys, we'd jump on the central line, and we'd make our way across London, all the way across to Heathrow, which is right at the end of the Piccadilly line, from one side of London to the other, and spend the day messing about in the airport, watching planes taking off and landing. And literally, when I think back, we was only kids, and to be, you know, totally on the other side of London at that sort of age was quite a risk, really, and totally unbeknown to our parents. So, Mum, if you're watching, sorry, we weren't playing in the fields at the back of the farm. We was the other side of London in Heathrow Airport. So you can see it was a bit of a tearaway when I was a kid. The other thing I remember are those tube journeys as well, is you know you've got those things that hang down that you hold on to. Well, the trains in those days weren't anywhere as busy as they are now, and we used to swing from one of those to the other, all the way down from one end of the carriage to the other. And then in the escalators, they didn't have those no smoking signs that stop you sliding down the middle of the escalators. And I can remember when we used to change from the central line to the Piccadilly line at Holborn Station, we used to slide down the escalator from top to bottom. So there you go. I was a bit of a tearaway when I was younger, but nobody knew, and especially my parents. So apologise about that, Mum, but no harm came of us. We were okay. So I've brought you here to this farm in Essex. This farm you can see in the background was a chicken farm, and it was separated by this long concrete road to another part of the farm here, which was basically a pig farm. And my dad used to be the manager of the pig farm. But our house was located on the main road over here. So every day he had to travel along this long bit of private road here. So to make that a little bit easier for himself, he bought himself a little Honda C90, little step-through motorbike. So he could do this little journey every morning and every night. Now what they didn't know, and what nobody knew, was that when my mum and dad used to go out, I was probably about 13 or 14 at the time, and this is where my sort of love affair of motorbikes started. I used to take his Honda C90 out of the shed. I used to bring it down here onto the farm. This is all private land. And along this road here, I used to race his C90 up and down this concrete road as fast as I could go. I used to come from the pig farm here, roar down towards this bend, lay it over as quick as I could, and then literally kiss the speedo all the way down to the chicken farm, try and get it to 60 miles an hour. And all the time my mum and dad never knew. I think I just told my dad, you know, just a couple of years before he passed away, but for all them years I kept it a secret and they never found out. I guess he must have thought this bike is rubbish on the fuel consumption, because whenever he got on it, he never had any petrol in it. So there we go, something that nobody knew. I used to race up and down here on a bike when I was a kid. And the last of the three things that you didn't know about me took place right here in Wickford High Street in Essex. It was the summer of about 1985, I think, just over 30 years ago. I think I was about 17 or 18. And what prompted me to remember this event was the Notting Hill Carnival that's currently on this weekend in London. Each year Wickford has a carnival, and the youth group that I was associated with at the time decided to build a float for the carnival. And the theme was going to be babies and centenarians. So all of the guys and the blokes in the youth club had to dress up as babies, in nappies, a dummy and a little cotton cap. And all of the girls would dress up as centenarians. Now for whatever reason I didn't think dressing up as a baby was going to be interesting enough, so I had a word with my girlfriend at the time, borrowed a few of her clothes, and I turned up on Carnival Day dressed up as a centenarian. I had fishnet stockings on, suspenders, little mini skirt, some little red panties, paddock bra, a big long blonde wig, even had my nails painted. And there I was walking down Wickford High Street dressed as a centenarian. I even got my photo in the local weekly Gazette. I've still got the paper cutting somewhere, but obviously in the move it's boxed up, I can't dig it out. I wish I could, it was a sight to see. I think I collected the most amount for charity that day, as well as a few dodgy phone numbers. So there we go, I hope you enjoyed those 3 facts about me when I was growing up. As you can see, I was a little bit of a tearaway when I was younger, but then again, who wasn't when they was a child? You know, no harm done, all in good fun. Okay, so now it's my turn to nominate 3 people to tell us their 3 secrets. And the first person I'm going to nominate is Paul Sharp from Sharpey's Workshop. I've been following Paul's channel since the beginning, and he does some fantastic projects. He works out of his home workshop, and he takes old things that he finds either at boot sales or on the side of the road, and he repurposes them into some fantastic little bits of furniture or table lamps. It's got a great little channel there and a fantastic sense of humour. I really do enjoy watching his videos, and I highly recommend that you check him out too. The second person that I want to nominate is David from Vandemonium. He's done a recent van build conversion on his channel. I first started watching David on his Cruising the Cup channel. Again, another fantastic channel if you want to check that out. He's got some brilliant videos on there. He's living on board a narrowboat and he's cruising around the canals of the UK. It's some fantastic viewing. I believe David used to work on the TV, so he comes across really naturally in front of the camera, and it makes for some excellent viewing. And the third person I'd like to nominate is Gary from Gary Thompson's Joinery. Gary and I met up at the NEC last year at Maker Central, and since then I've been avidly following his channel, and I know he watches all of my videos. I see him regularly comment in the comments below, and I'd really like to find out what your 3 secrets are, Gary. So there we go guys, hope you rise to the challenge too. I'll be really looking forward to seeing your videos, and I really do recommend that everybody takes a look at these guys' channels because they create some fantastic content. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.